share, and then it's all about you and you sharing. So let me present. Let me turn on my captions. Got to make sure my captions are on. Put them up there at the top. All right. Tucker, did the recording start? I heard it ding.
It did. Yep.
All right. Excellent, everybody. So the name of this presentation is, oh my gosh, I wish everyone knew about this. It's the virtual Share-A-Thon. It's actually not the first ever virtual Share-A-Thon. You're the fourth because we've done this 3 times today already, and this is the last session. You can get the slide deck here, and you're going to want the slide deck by going to bit.ly/Shareathon2020. Again, that URL is bit.ly/Shareathon2020. Tucker's going to put that in the chat for you. But some people like to have a 2-screen experience. They like to have the slides up on another screen, so you can get that with your phone. Hover over that QR code, and you'll have the slide deck there. I say you need the slide deck because there are hyperlinks in this slide deck that you're going to want to look at here coming up. Specifically, a Google Sheet that you're going to want to have to access because it's going to have everything in it. Okay, so who are we? So my name is Chris Bougai, and I am the Assistive Technology Specialist here in the district. But I think of myself more as an inclusive design facilitator. And what I mean by that is that for years working in assistive technology, we would use technology to solve some sort of problem, right? A problem would exist. We'd come up with a technology to help mitigate or solve that problem. And over time, what we've come to learn is, well, what if we use technology to prevent the problem from happening in the first place? And that, to me, is part of what we call inclusive design. Really, in the planning stages of you putting together your learning experiences, how do we design it with students with disabilities and everyone else in mind so that everybody universally can access the materials and access the instruction, and it's personalized for them? So that's me. And then we also have in the room...
Dad, real quick.
Yeah.
You're not streaming, or you're not screen sharing.
I'm not?
For me, at least. I don't know if anyone else isn't seeing it.
Oh, no. They didn't. No one saw my URL?
No, you were... There we go.
There we go.
Oh, they didn't see my URL? Okay, hold on. I'll come back to the URL. Thanks, Tucker.
Yep. Also, make sure to turn closed captioning on.
Yes, thank you. Good reminder there to turn the captions on. Okay, yeah, so there's the URL that I was talking about, everybody. bit.ly Shareathon2020, and there's that QR code. But you also put it in the chat, right, Tuck?
I did, yes.
All right, so then everyone's got this. Quick, this is your chance. Take a picture of this with your phone so you have it. And can we get a thumbs up? Are we good to move on in the chat?
I see a couple people using their phones to scan the QR code.
All right, excellent. We'll give it one more second then. And moving on. So there we are. So that's me. I'm Chris Bougai, who I mentioned. And then Joyce.
I'm Joyce Sharp. I am joining you from the lovely county of Madison, and am happy to help in the background, but it's not all about me. We're going to talk about Tucker.
Hi, I'm Tucker. I'm a sophomore at Ladin Valley High School, and in case any of you haven't realized it yet, I am Chris Bougai's son.
That's right. We are doing students making meaningful contributions to the world and authentic learning experiences, and what better than this, right? So he's helping his dad out today. Go Vikes! Got my Viking hat on. And we wanted to start off with a real quick strategy for you to experience, and that is something called Peanutize Me. It's a free website where students don't have to log in. I'm sure you're all familiar with Bitmoji. Some of you might be making Bitmoji classrooms. The one negative or a negative with Bitmoji is that students might see it and they might say, hey, I want to make one. How do I make one? And it's really not meant for students that are 12 and under. But there are ways that they can make digital avatars of themselves. Lots of different ways. Star Wars generators and all sorts of. But the one we picked to show off today is to make peanut characters of each other. So, or I made one of Joyce. Joyce, I hope I did okay.
Yeah, I have to make this comment though. I made one. Chris didn't realize I had one. I just hadn't sent it yet. His had curly hair, so I did curly hair on purpose and wore a blue shirt just for you, Chris, because that's what you made me like to me.
Thanks, Joyce. All right, so let's talk about what this session is all about. And that session is, it's all about tips and tricks and hacks and anything else that you have found useful in your career, or even if your first year, what you're planning on using, a little piece of technology, I don't know, something that has worked for you and worked for your learners. The way this is going to work is that you're going to come on screen and you're going to be the one who presents. And the way we're going to manage that is through the chat function. So the chat function is we're going to set up a queue in the chat function. So the way that works is you type your name in the chat. Tucker is going to look at your names and he's going to plop them over on a Google Doc and he's going to call your name out and say, all right, Christy Holler, you're next, because she put her name down next, right? Hey, Stacy Sipcar, get ready. You're coming up next because you put your name in the chat. So you form the queue over in the chat. Tucker will manage it, and he will call out some names in order so you know what that your time is coming up. And then you'll screen share and share your thing. And we're going to try and keep your sharing to around 3 minutes. It can be less than that. It can be a little bit more than that. We're not going to be ogres about it, but try and keep it around that time so that we can get through many people sharing different tools and strategies. Now, like I said, this is the 4th time we've done this today. The previous 3 have all been accessed through the super mega awesome Share-A-Thon Google Sheet. And so the super mega awesome Share-A-Thon Google Sheet is a giant Google Sheet where we are keeping the names of the people who have presented, the strategy or tool that they shared, what platform it is, like if it's a website, if it's an Office 365 hack, if it's something to do with Google, maybe it's an extension you like. We're trying to keep that organized in this sheet with the platform, under the platform column, a link to that tool so you can go back to it later, and then like a short description. Oh, this is an extension that does screen sharing or whatever. And then next to that, there's a column called implementation ideas where you can go in and access that and put your own ideas, how you think you might use this. I mean, the person presenting will have their own implementation ideas and be sharing that, but maybe you have even more. We can put them there. And then the last column over on this spreadsheet is, oh my gosh, Stacy Sipcar just shared this awesome strategy, and I use something very similar, but it's different, and it sparked this idea. So I want to put that over there. That's right. You should all have editing access to this sheet. Now, when there's so many people accessing it at once, Google kind of caps it off and is like, hey, you might not want this many people. No, Google, come on, I wanted this many people. So even if you don't have editing access now, you will eventually. Okay, but that is where it's all being housed, is in that Google Sheet. At very least, you should be able to access it to see. As you're presenting, will be typing in all that information. And then you can, like I said, come back and fix it later if I messed it up. All right. So yeah, we're going to share this with everybody. Let's see how this works. So far, we've been keeping it pretty clean. We'll see how you guys do today. And then at the end, of course, don't forget to sign up and say you attended. All right, Joyce, Tucker, did I forget anything?
I don't think so.
All right, then. So
yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, wait, hang on, Chris. Let's get people to turn their cameras off and make sure their mics are muted so that we have the most bandwidth possible available for everyone to see what others are sharing.
Great. Okay, so Tucker, who's first on the list? Did anyone put their name in yet?
No one's put their name yet.
All right, people, this is going to be a really terrible session if we just all stare at each other. So put your names in.
I need to ask them to put their names in.
I see Tina Stanley.
I love you, Tina. Thank you.
All right, Tina's up first. Debbie, you put your name in the chat. All right, Tina, you go first.
All right, my computer is being really, really slow. So,
Tina, do you know how to make your computer go faster? I can give you a quick tip right here.
Yeah.
You ready? Tap your foot. If you tap your foot, your computer goes faster. I bet you didn't know that. Look, you're doing it, right? And now your computer.
I used to get my Promethean board to work better by giving it hugs and telling it that I loved it, and it always worked too. So.
Absolutely.
For me too, Tina, when you wanted me to do something.
All right, I am going to share my Symbaloo page.
Symbaloo, yes.
This is one of my favorite things to use. This is the one I'm working on right now for putting together teacher resources that I've come
Curated?
across just in the past couple weeks. I'm sorry?
Curated, right? You find something, you keep it in Symbaloo, right?
And it's great because you make they look like little icons. You click on, like I have, I think about 20 pages, but these were all resources my kids used for Genius Hour. Those of you that are doing pathways, you know, some of those units, I taught 5th grade for a long time, and I know that it won't scroll for me because it's going slow. I'm trying to tap my foot, it's not working. Let me shut some other stuff on my computer and see if that helps.
So Tina, while you're shutting that down, let's just talk about Symbaloo here for a second. So it is a website, right? Like a free website?
Yes, it's a free website, and let's say you want to put your peanuts thing in that you were just talking about. It's super easy to use. Sorry. This is all you do. You would click on there and create a tile. Usually I would copy and paste, but my computer doesn't like me today. Was it Peanutize Me?
You got it.
Peanutizeme.com. And then it'll automatically put a name in there for you, or you can adjust it for your kids depending on who you're teaching. Show your text right there. If you can't see it, it's a little Woodstock bird. So you can do that, or you can upload your own. You can put a sticker or they have a whole bunch of icons to choose from. I click save. It adds it there. I share it. It gives me a link to share with my class, and then they can access all that.
Tina, just to be clear, the sharing shares the entire Symbaloo, not just the Peanutize Me, right?
It shares the whole Symbaloo. So when I put a link, or if I send my kids this link, or I would put it in Google Classroom last year, I'll put it in Schoology this year. It gives me a link right here. It gives you can embed or just share the link with them, and my kids click on it, and then they see a version of this that they can't edit. They can't see like all of my different ones, and I would, like, I have 5th grade math. I have those, this is horrible. Why will this not scroll? Go ahead.
No, Tina, I get it. So for instance, I see your tabs up there. You have a tab called Growth Mindset. And if you click on Growth Mindset, it takes you to a bunch of links that are related to the growth mindset. So, to answer Suzanne Creech's question, she says, what is this for? Well, it's a great visual way to provide students with hyperlinks, and for them to then access those hyperlinks, as opposed to like a list of all of them, like in a Google Doc or something. Much more visual and very similar, I think, to LCPS Go, in that, you know, it's a bunch of tiles on the screen that they're very used to. So
I know that we give the kids tons of websites, and so like during SOL time, I would give them the link to this, and it's, you know, there's IXL and Study Island, all the stuff that the elementary kids use for studying for SOLs. I was saying for elementary, some of the Lucy Calkins units have just an insane number of resources. So I would just link to all the videos, all the articles. I would put everything here. And then the kids just have one place to go. And I actually just have one place to go now too, because I put my resources on a link. So instead of like all the sticky notes that I have everywhere, or, you know, trying to remember what was that website, I stick them in Symbaloo and they are there for me.
excellent, Tina.
Camera, because I'm looking at my other computer. So
Way to get it started, Tina. That's awesome. All right, Tucker, who's next?
Up next, we have Kelsey Lauritsen.
Okay, and then who's on deck? We'll do this like initiative.
Jen Jewell, And Kelsey Brown.
All right.
Okay. I'm
Hi, Kelsey.
Brown. Hi. I teach intellectual disabilities and autism at Parkview High School. I'm one of our self-contained teachers, but we like to not be self-contained. I am going to show you some of my resources for my LAMP Words for Life users and some of the things I was doing on the computer this summer that worked so well. And
Kelsey, what is
I created?
Kelsey, there's probably a lot of general ed teachers in here. Can you explain what LAMP Words for Life is?
LAMP Words for Life. LAMP is the type of system, language acquisition motor planning. It's students learn to tap things by where they're placed. And now that I'm presenting my screen, you can see Words for Life is a specific system. So if I want to say hello, I have all these icons. I can click on, oh, it's in please here. I have a second page of icons. I have hello down here. And then when you click there on a real device, it would say hello. So students might have these in your classroom. I created some books using Google Docs and my screenshotting ability. And I started with books about words. So just getting one single word down. We worked on I. Where is I? How do I click I? I'm hungry. And these are the exact ways for a student to get in there. It lent itself really well to virtual learning. So I would go here and say I'm hungry was in eat. And it's over here, hungry. I'm hungry. The students would take turns reading this book with me. I was able to model using New Voice down there. It was super awesome. Then I bumped up and made some things about subject areas, so math class. And I did like sentences, trying to string some words. Math is hard. Sometimes I was working on specifically adding S's, so I wanted to throw that, but that's not like super important. But math is hard, so just getting them to learn these key math words. I threw in money is important. Pay with dollars. Get change back, and we could sit here and go through where those different things are together. A calculator helps me. Shapes make the world. What shape do you see? I picked pictures that could completely expand. So what shapes do you see? And then we would go to the device where shapes were. And we already learned where that is now because we just said it. We go into the make, go into shapes, and we could say circle, square, triangle, triangle. And then I say, which triangle do you see? Oh, I saw the computer, or I saw the street sign, or I saw the math tool. So we would build on that. And then finally, I used some resources with LAMP Words for Life users that I took a teacher pay teacher thing. I screenshotted and threw the text on here. And I asked a specific question from the text. The blue poison dart frog is small and bright blue. Dark blue and black spots cover the frog's body. I added a question. What color is the frog? And I started giving prompts. Instead of telling them exactly what to say, what color is the frog? You need to go to colors. They can find blue. And I just built on language acquisition by kind of stepping this way, maybe doing a book like this first, and then adding on just a page or two of them thinking about text.
Kelsey, can I jump in here and expound upon what you're saying there?
Yes, I know that's so much stuff, but I just kind of wanted to show off. And if people want to connect with me, they're absolutely welcome to.
Yeah, no, let me take it even deeper, because there are probably people here in the session going, but this doesn't apply to me. Like, what are you talking about here? This is for kids who use communication devices. And let me just show you, Kelsey, if you could keep sharing your screen for a second and show that the new voice. If that software that she's using, look at the words that are on there, especially our elementary teacher friends. The words in this New Voice software are early sight words, right? A lot of what Kelsey's talking about is just teaching reading and just teaching and spelling, right? Which is what you're doing. But we're doing it often in 2 separate rooms with kids using communication devices and then kids in general ed. But you could be using this tool as a way to help everybody learn language, your ELL population, your early language learners, and then students who are using communication devices, all in the same way using a tool like this. And then Kelsey, real quick, how much was this software?
It is on your computer already. You just have to download it. It
That's
definitely
right.
works well in like mixed classrooms. If you have some sped in like elementary, if you had like co-taught, absolutely that would work. Because the other kids really buy into it. Like they want to be part of that device. And you have those categories, shapes, what shapes are in there, colors, what colors are in there. Like it's such a good teaching tool.
Absolutely. And then one last thing, Kelsey, the resources that you shared that you made, that could totally be an authentic problem that other kids could be helping. Hey, can we help Miss Lauritson's class by making stuff? And we can use these resources to make stuff for other kids and help each other.
Yeah, my student actually helped me write like that math book one. She told me the things she wanted to know. Where's money? Where's shapes? And then I made the book around the things she asked to talk about.
Yes. But what I'm saying, Kelsey, is other students. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Picture a
like
high
an
school student.
group.
Yeah, exactly. All right. That was Kelsey. Who's next, Tuck? Thank you, Kelsey. That was awesome.
Up next is Jen Jewell and then Kelsey Brown.
All right, Jen.
So mine is, am I up?
You are up.
Mine is really simple. If you haven't joined TikTok yet, I know we all see it with the kids, but you really need to join TikTok and be part of the teacher TikTok. I have gotten so many great tips, and there's so many great tutorials on Schoology and Google on there. And not to mention, there's so many uplifting things on TikTok for teachers. So if you haven't joined it, it's unbelievable wealth of resources for tech.
Jen, can I ask you a quick question about TikTok?
Yeah.
When you say the teacher stuff, is there certain hashtags you follow that?
I follow the hashtag teacher TikTok and then teachers of TikTok.
So just to be clear, it's not like there's another version of TikTok that is a teacher version. It's just that you're following certain people that are not out there to, I don't know, they're using it for teaching purposes, I guess is what we're saying. So
yes, and the way TikTok works, the more like teacher stuff you look at, the more it shows you. There's something called FYP. So the more you look at something, the more it shows you. So it kind of like learns about you and what you like. And a lot of the people putting content on, the teachers putting content on TikTok are giving free content. Here's a link to my Google stuff. Here's a link to this. So you are welcome. Most of them say you are welcome to use it. Just don't sell it on Teachers Pay Teachers. Here, this is for free for you, which is really awesome.
And just another thing, it's short, right? I mean, they're usually 3 to 4 minute videos, if that, right? Is that?
It's super short. Yeah, it's super short. And if you're having a bad day, there's hysterical teacher TikToks too that will uplift you and make you happy because, they're just funny.
Can you give me those hashtags one more time? Hashtag teacher?
Teacher TikTok and teachers of TikTok. If you just put that in, so much comes up. Like if you just search teacher.
Gotcha.
A lot comes up.
All right, sweet. That was a great one. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
All right, who's next, Tucker? Wait, did we have a couple questions before we go? Let me make sure. Where can you find the LAMP software on your computer to download? Okay, that was 2 questions there. So let me just jump in and explain that real quick. So if at the end of last year, DDI met with every teacher, they tried to update your computer so that you'd have something called the computer portal. You can know it so I'm going to share my screen so you can see this, okay? First of all, does anyone know what I'm talking about, or do you need to see this? What the heck is the computer portal? Yeah, Suzanne's putting question mark. Okay, so you can see my screen? Yes?
Yep.
All right, so down here I'm going to do a quick search, and it's called computer portal, company portal, not computer portal. Company portal. Now, when you do a search, if you don't have it, that means it's an incident. You should go to your service center and say, hey, I need the company portal. When you go to company portal, and then, you know, someone from DDI will send you an email and says, hey, let's set up a time to get you the company portal. But the company portal, while it spins here, let me tap my foot. Come on. There we go. See, it works. Gives me stuff that I could download that I might not have been able to before. And one of the things that you can search for is New Voice. Let's see, is it there yet? New Voice software, and that's how you get the software. Okay, so there's all sorts of other apps and tools here that are, instead of putting them on every teacher's machine and bogging it down, they said, hey, if you're a teacher that wants this and uses it, you can go here and get it. And in fact, it's the newest version. They've put it out because it used to be called the Portal Manager. In fact, you might even used to have that icon on your desktop. It kind of looks like a little black hurricane icon. This is the newest way to get that stuff. So if you don't have the company portal, do an incident. Good stuff? All right, stop sharing. Tucker, who we got? Oh, wait, there was another question about, I know that there's been a big debate about the TikTok app. We're allowed to use it on the LCOS Tutor to look at teacher videos, right? How are you using it, Jen? You're just using it for your own PD, right? So you're probably looking at it on your phone. That's my guess, right, Jennifer? Yeah, it's better on your phone. That's what she wrote. Okay, cool. Yes, New Voice has a little bit of a learning curve, but we can help you. All right, Tucker, who's up?
Up next is Kelsey Brown and then Joyce Sharp.
Oh, great. Hi, Kelsey. You're muted, Kelsey.
Always happens. My name is Kelsey Brown. I'm a 6th grade teacher at JML in South Riding. And one thing that is really important to me when I'm designing my digital experiences for students is the formatting and the way they look, because it's very easy for things to get confusing for students. So depending on where you're at with that, a really great resource is Slides Mania. These are all Google Slides templates and they're all free. And if you go to education, she's got notebook styles, choice boards, manipulatives, and she formats everything. So like in Schoology, at the beginning of the week for the weekly overview, you could post one of her slides that lead the directions for each day. And she makes all the planners. You could use one for yourself if you wanted, however you want to do things. But there's a passport. She just has really clear aesthetics for everything. She designed some of them to look literally like a computer, like you're clicking on something and then it like pops up in a new dialogue, even though it's just Google Slides. And everything's free. There's a YouTube playlist, and playlists aren't supported anymore. So you literally just add your videos in there. She's all over Twitter. She does all of it for free. She even has an app on here that you can make it look like an app. Whatever you want to do, she has it all. She's really supportive of educators. If you create your own template, if that's the level that you're at with this, you can send it to her, and she has a section on her website that she posts for everyone to share out. But everything's free, everything's formatted beautifully, and just super clear and clean.
Love it, Kelsey. That is awesome. I had not heard of Slides Mania before, so those look like awesome little templates. Sweet, sweet. All right, who is after now? Tucker, how are we doing? We got people in the queue?
It's just Miss Joyce.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's do a little cheerleading here for a second. Look how easy it was for Kelsey to jump on and share that, right? And Jen to come on and share. And for everyone else that is share, yeah, there we go, Stacy. Keep them coming, everybody. We can put your name in there. This is how we share. All right, Joyce, what you got for us?
All right. I have an oldie, but one of my favorites. It's called Rewordify, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you can see the screen. Can you see my screen?
We gotcha.
Yep.
Oh, good. Can you see my Rewordify screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good deal. All right. This is a great website. This is not an LCPS tool. It's an independent website, but it's open for everybody to use and reword difficult English. One of my favorite teachers, I know a lot of you know about Rewordify already. So I'm just going to show you two things. One is if I go up into settings, I can pick the Rewordify level I want. Basically meaning, what Lexile level do I want to read this on? And so I'm going to pick level 1 because that's the default for now. I'm afraid of changing anything because my internet's a little wonky. And then my other best tip for this is, and this tip actually helped my daughter survive English in college, her literature class. At the top of Rewordify, you have classic literature as a shortcut. She had to read Beowulf, and she did not enjoy Beowulf at all. So what we did is we went to this website, clicked on classic literature, it's circling. Chris, can you hear my feet?
I hear him tapping. It's going to work.
All right, I think everybody needs to tap together because it's still circling.
Joyce, just real quick, while it's circling there, so just in case someone didn't know what Rewordify does, just to make sure I understand, you copy and paste text into a box and it gives you a simplified version of that text. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. And look, here is Beowulf. How many people know? No, Rewordify is free. How many of you enjoyed Beowulf in college? I didn't. So here it is. If we want to read Beowulf in an easier version, it's already done it for us. So let's go to Grendel is Vanquished and see what it looks like. That is the chapter on Grendel is Vanquished. It came up just a few minutes ago and now it's slow again. But it puts it in terms, the idea is it puts it into terms that you can understand. And I think you'll be quite shocked when you see it work. I may have to turn it over to you, Chris, to get you to show it because it's really struggling over here.
Well, you know what, Joyce, I think what is important to know here, because people might be thinking, well, I want them to have the more complex version. Actually, you get to see both. So you can learn from the complex version, you can learn from the simplified version what the complex words mean. And that's really the power of it. There we go. I knew it would come up.
Ah, yes. So here we go. If you look at this, I put it on the level 1 and the yellow, what is highlighted in yellow are the words that were identified as difficult words to understand. They have been rewordified to easier words for students or people reading the selection to understand. It's just a great little tool that's online. You can use what's already there, or you can put things, paste long selections into the box on the main screen.
Wait, Joyce, before you navigate away, will you hover over one of those yellows?
Yeah, hang on. It's giving me a big old question. You know what? It's hard to see. There. Can you see a little question mark? There it is. Now, when I click on that, the word used to be utterly, and now they're using the word completely.
So you can make the connection that those two words are related. Awesome, Joyce. Awesome stuff. Love Rewordify. Answer one below. All right.
I could use that for my history class.
Yes, you can, Tucker. I bet your dad didn't tell you about it, did he?
No, never heard of it.
So many strategies, it's hard to get them all. All right, so Tucker, who's next?
Up next is Stacy Sipcar and then Michelle Kavanaugh.
All right.
And then Christy Holler. My bad.
Hi, everybody. I'm Stacy Sipcar. I'm a speech language pathologist in the county. I'm going to talk a little bit about lesson picks, which I absolutely love. It does have you do need a subscription for it, but it is a fabulous website you can go to. It has a bunch of clip art pictures, pretty much any word you need. Oops, I'm not sharing my screen, am I? Oh, hold on a second.
Not yet.
Not yet. Sorry. Let's let's see. Where's share my screen? Present now, sorry. I am out of my Google Meet. It's good with it in the fall. All right. And hold on 1 second. Come on. It's not letting me. Hold on. Oh, I'm struggling. Hold on. Screen one. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm split between two different screens right now, so that's why I was getting confused. All right. Is that working? Yes.
Yeah, we see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, so clip art is, I mean, Lesson Picks is really a website that has a bunch of different clip art things that you could use. As a speech path, it's like really helpful for us if we want to make, you know, practice sheets for articulation, or there's even apps where you can make, you know, visual aids for your students. So I'm going to kind of show you that for like the teachers. So if you come over here, I just threw over, I wasn't expecting to demonstrate anything, so I just threw something over here. So I'm thinking if the kid needs like a break. So you go in here and you might just want to type, you know, break time. And it'll kind of pull up a bunch of different picture icons that you want to use. So you may want to use that, or sometimes you can just even get creative and just say clock, you know, and then it'll come up with a clock. And then you just kind of throw it over here. You go to create materials. This is what I love because it has a bunch of different materials. So if you just, you can use it for EL. So if you want picture cards, just type little red, you know, picture cards. These are all the different things that it'll show you. You can have a picture schedule lined up, and there's a bunch of different picture schedules too. So if you don't want the train, there's just the basic one without any pictures. You can make name tags. Let's see, like first then boards, if you have some children that have behavioral visual, books and stories, you can make a whole story for your students. Let's see, what else? What I like for as an SLP is like, it's great for communication devices. You can, you know, like for me, we have like I use a lot of Cheap Talk, so it already has the pictures. You just type in whatever words you're working with and you can slide it in their communication device. Let's see, fine motor, there's coloring sheets, there's lacing cards, so you can make a lacing card if you want. Learning games, which is what I use, you know, for, you can make bingo, it'll make a bunch of different bingo boards. You just type in however many pictures you want, and, you know, it'll make that for you. You know, just a bunch of different games. Let's see, you know, you can make a roll dice, fortune tellers, you know, find the picture, which is great for, you know, EL students. So if they, you know, kind of have your vocabulary over here and they can go over in there and try to find it, you know, hidden in the picture. But I love it. SLPs do get a subscription in the county. I actually used this before SLPs even got the subscription, and it is fabulous. Yes.
Great stuff. And I see Christy McMahon, who is also another speech therapist in the county. She uses it, right? And they do have great PD. I work with them very closely, and they're awesome company to work with. So awesome, Stacy. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Tucker, who do we got next?
Up next is Michelle Kavanaugh, and then Christy Holler.
All right, Miss Kavanaugh, let's do this.
Okay, so mine is not a program. This was something that I learned a while back, and I'm an EL teacher, and I shared it at one of my meetings, and there were so many people that didn't know about it, so I thought maybe I'd share this.
Yes.
So let's see here. I don't know if present now, duh. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to show you guys how, I don't know if you guys go to LCPS Go. Oh, look at that. All right, I probably don't even have that on there now. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Sorry, hold on. Let me put this off. Sorry. All right. I have a lot of things open, so what I wanted to share is that even though you have LCPS Go, you can actually add your own app into LCPS Go. So like when she was sharing the Wordify, I could actually put that right in my, here we go, sorry, here we go. Okay. Let's see if I can get this right now.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I like the dog.
So here we go. Oh yeah, there's my dog. I have a new Bernese Mountain Dog puppy, so she's
Oh.
adorable. So up here in the corner, like there's so many times when you really want to, you use something all the time and you want to get that. Like for instance, I go to Teachers Pay Teachers a lot. So I actually added my own app. And so what you do is you go up to the top and you push the add button. And then basically this comes up and it says add your own app, because there's a bunch of apps there that you can add, obviously. So you click add your own app. Now, if I were to want to do Rewardify, I go up to Rewardify, whatever this, and I copy the link. I copy it. And then I go back to here and I paste it in there, whatever the URL is, I paste it in there. And then I put, Wordify, okay? So when you request a single sign-in, if it's like Teachers Pay Teachers and you've already put in your password, it will automatically jump you right to that page and you're already signed in. So I love it. The only downside to this is you don't really have a whole lot of pictures to choose from. So it will say Rewordify, but it's not gonna, a lot of these choices that you have are just not very good. So I usually pick one with a number or pick something that, I could even just pick this one and then you add the app. And basically I put on planbook.com on here. I put down links to what I do very quickly. And being online right now, the way that this is going, there's a lot of places that we're going to be going to that we don't normally go to. So maybe this can help somebody get to it quicker.
That's awesome, Michelle. Awesome stuff. All right. Who's next, Tuck?
Up next, we have Christy Holler.
Okay.
Oh,
so
and Natalia Beardsley is after.
Miss Holler, I didn't think you were going to make it. I thought you said you weren't going to be able to make it here today.
I switched because I heard some good things about the morning, so I had to do it.
All right.
So
we converted you.
Okay, I think I'm sharing the screen now. Am I sharing it?
Yep, here it comes.
Okay. All right, so as you can see here, I've got this little icon over here, this little dancing bitmoji. So the way that you make a video without a background is using a website called unscreen.com. And it's really simple. I've never even logged in or signed up. All you need to do is take your video. And in this case, I'm going to use a picture of my daughter. She's not going to be happy if she ever finds out I did this. She's even in her pajamas, but it's cute. So anyway, I uploaded her. I had her do some pointing for me. And as I uploaded that video, it's going to come up. And in just a second, it'll show you what it looks like without the background. It's coming. So at that point, you can then download it, enter it into your computer. And then what I used it for was, well, something like this. Like on my Schoology page, you can add a video to it. I'm going to take it off, but that's just that'll show that, if you wanted to have yourself showing, pointing to various things or, doing a dance or whatever, you could do that. Just for fun.
Michelle still has her camera on and she's like, oh my gosh, that's great. That's so great. Natalia, she's got a question. Anyone know how to remove a background of a photo? Yes, go to remove.bg, remove.bg, and you'll be able to do it lickety split. Right, Christy? Is that what you were going to suggest?
Yes, remove.bg, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, am I still presenting?
No. Well, I mean, we can hear you, but no. Okay. All right, who is up next? That was a fantastic one.
Up next is Natalia Beardsley.
And who's after that, Tucker?
There's no one after that.
All right, put your name in the chat. We still got time. Okay, Natalia.
Let me share my screen. Thank you. All right, so I've heard so many great tools, but I found this site when I was getting ready to teach after the closure. And it's a site that's called Ditch That Textbook. And what I liked about it is that it is a compilation of a lot of different types of tools that can both be great e-learning activities, templates, or even opportunities for enrichment. And what I loved about it is that the list is endless, and they have grouped it nicely, and you can go and look at the idea, and it explains how to implement it, how to show it to your kids. So I just wanted to highlight a couple of them. So like one of the links, so if you click on a link, it takes you down to these different tools. So this one, for example, is called Caption This. And so it's a way, I think, for kids, for example, if you're trying to show some images, having them add captions, maybe share different perspectives or explain what might be happening in a primary source form of art or something like that. Another one, which I actually did end up using with my kids, is called using Google Maps to create a story using Google Earth. So it's a visual way of walking somebody through a story, and you can actually jump into any town in the world, and you add text or characters or whatever, and you can build a story. Just another cool one that I found on here is how do you use Flipgrid according to Bloom. So it takes you through Bloom and what are the different functionalities of Flipgrid from, just memorizing to analyzing or applying. So it's just a really great one-stop shop for a lot of different tools and ways to use them and ideas for project-based assessments.
Natalia, that is awesome. I've seen Ditch That Textbook on Twitter, like the people that do that, and they're always sharing awesome stuff, and following them on Twitter has been really a great resource. Thank you for sharing that. Cool.
Thank you.
Okay. And Tucker, we got anyone else? Did anyone else come in?
No one that I can see.
All right, everybody. So be thinking, but I'm going to share one, a real quick one, while we wait for other people to come in. Cool. But listen, we still have time. So if you haven't shared yet, this is your moment. Share something useful that other people can. Oh, okay. Yeah, Tucker, you go first.
Well, so as a student, one of the things that I would love to see is right on Google Meet, actually. Let's see if I can go. Let's see if I can open the Chrome tab, the Meet, and there we go. You guys see it? Nothing?
What? Hold on.
There you can. There. So over here is the visual effects for Google Meet, and I've seen a couple of people using it, and I've seen people using the background blur to blur their background. Just takes a little bit for my computer to load it. But once it renders in, now my screen's frozen. But see how it blurs my background? And so it blurs the background, and then my computer can't really handle it right now, so that's why my screen's frozen. But other things, like there's the presentations, cutting out my audio or something. Yeah, I can stop for a second. You want me to stop sharing my screen?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Oh my goodness. The audio was, I don't know if you could hear it.
No,
Michelle,
I couldn't hear anything.
Oh, it was like echoing like crazy. So I don't know
Oh,
why.
I'm sorry. My computer can't really handle this right now. So
Well, this is the kind of stuff that we're going to experience here in a couple of weeks. So it's good to come across these things.
yeah.
But that's great. Yeah. So someone was asking, how do you get to it? How do you turn that stuff on? So the turn on background blur is in your settings of Google Meet. So if you look at your three little buttons at the bottom of the screen that say next to present now, and you click on that, you should see turn on background blur there. Do you see that, Christine? Yes. Okay, cool. And that's how you do it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to show. Did anyone else pop in the meantime?
I don't see anyone.
Okay. Tucker, how did you get that thing on the side? That's what Christy's asking. Because I don't know how to get that thing on the side.
The white thing on the side?
Yeah.
It should be an extension called what's it called? Effects for Google Meet.
But I don't know.
I've seen some people using it.
Are you signed into Google Chrome with your LCPS account, or are you using it?
I'm using my personal account in Google Chrome overall, but I'm using my school account right now.
Right. So, well, but when you're signed into Google Chrome, because you're not on your Chromebook, you're on your computer, right?
Yes.
So on your computer, you're using Google Chrome, and in the very top, you'll see a little icon of yourself, right? It's probably your D&D icon.
Yep.
Right. And for me, it's my little icon. And all of you, do you see the little icon in the top right of yourself? That's where you're signed into Google Chrome. And Tucker, you're signed in with your personal account there. Yes?
Yes.
So even though you're signed into Google with your student account, you're signed into Google Chrome with your personal account, which is why you're able to get to extensions besides the ones that are acceptable in Loudon. I wanted to take a second to explain that, because that extension that you were just showing is not one that has been approved yet for use.
Gotcha.
But again, very useful, because anyone working with students, they'll be logging in with their personal account, and they'll have access to all these extensions that they can make. They won't necessarily be just logged into their LCPS account into Google Chrome. So I think it's worthwhile to have that conversation. Does that make sense, Miss McMahon? Yes. All right, cool. All right, so we got 7 minutes. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Come on. Your entire screen. So, we still have Google Drive, yeah? And since there's been so much conversation in this particular session about visuals, I want to show you how you can add some visuals to Google Drive. So let me just pop over to my Google Drive. Right? Can you see my screen, Doc?
Yes, I can.
Google Drive, right? Let me open it up. Right now, note I have it saved right here, so I could click on it. Right? Why don't I just do that? Okay, and then I go to my drive, right? And maybe if you went to one of the other sessions on organization today, you saw that there's a way you can color code all of your folders in here, right? So let's say, here we go, leave requests. These are my requests when I need to take off. I can change the color. I right click on it and make that, I don't know, yellow, because I'm taking off leave. And that could be a way to color code, So if I'm someone that likes color coding and I can quickly visually get to my colors more easily, then that's what I do, right? But there's also a way to add visuals, because maybe you have trouble reading this text, and you might want to be able to identify the visuals a lot quicker. Just like on your desktop and on LCPS Go, when we were looking at Add and Symbaloo, where you can add all these pictures, well, you can do that in Google Drive as well. And so the way you can do that is, I'm going to go over to emojipedia.org, and let's see, since I was working on my leave requests, I'll type in sick, right? So there's a face with a thermometer, syringe, a pill, a face with. I'm going to go with this face thermometer. I'm going to click on it, and over here I'm going to hit copy, and now that has copied to my clipboard. So when I go back to my Google Drive, and I go onto my leave requests and I right click on it, I'm going to rename it. And when I rename it, I'm going to put it there in the front, or I can put it in the back. Let's put it in the back. Control V, and there's my icon. And when I hit there you go. So now I can have little icons next to my different stuff in Google Drive, and I can quickly find stuff. And of course, so could students. So cool. Was that good stuff?
Yeah. I think today was pretty successful.
Yeah. Oh, we've got 5 minutes left. So Joyce is talking about Google Keep. We'll show that real quick too, and then we'll have final words. So Google Keep, if you haven't used it or seen it, is thanks you, Mariah. So Google Keep, if you haven't seen it, is one of the apps in the suite of Google Keep is down here. So in your waffle, right? But what it is a giant wall of sticky notes. And so these are all my sticky notes. And you can see that there's all sorts of stuff in here, and that could look really overwhelming. But the way, first of all, it's Google, so I can search for things. So if I wanted to search for things like science, then this pulls up all of my notes related to science, right? If I wanted to type, what are my notes I took on robots and computer science, then I type up robots, and this is all the stuff that has robots in it, right? And I can also organize all of my sticky notes by labels. So if I just wanted to see things labeled by captions, well, then here's a note that has captions, right? Stuff that's related to coaching. And notice how these sticky notes have multiple tags. So I don't have to make a decision about one place they're putting them. I can put them on multiple places, right? So here, if I've got stuff on distance learning, I can. So this is a quick way to kind of organize yourself. And then also, let's say I found an awesome resource like this Emojipedia, right? How do I've come across all sorts of resources? I can add it to my Google Keep by having this extension. I just click on it and it makes a note in my Google Keep. I can add all of my different, I can choose the labels that I want here, and make a little note about it if I want to, and it adds to the sticky notes. So real quick, and
you can change the background.
I can change the background?
You can change the theme, the overarching theme, I think, of my
Google Keep?
Yeah, I believe so. Like you can make it look like sticky notes, or you can make it.
Oh yes, this. You're talking about this. I can view it in different ways.
That too, but I also thought there was different themes that you could have it.
Yeah, like there's this dark theme. Make a dark background with white.
That too, yeah. They must have removed the feature. All right, cool.
So that is how I keep all of my notes, and I know that's how a lot of students are keeping their notes, is by putting them in Google Keep. All right, so it's 3:28. I want to remind you to go back to the Schedule and make sure you sign in there with the to get your attendance, right? And I just want to end with two final thoughts. First is, if you want more of this presentation, if you really liked these tips and tricks, we can do more. We can talk about having more of these, but also know that there's a resource, something called Workplace. Workplace is Facebook. In fact, it's owned by Facebook, and Loudoun pays for us to have our own version of Facebook, but encapsulated completely in Loudoun County Public Schools. So it's not out on the world. It's just for employees. And there's a group there called Workplace, or there's a group there called Tips and Tricks that allows you to share tips and tricks, just like we did here today, like we've been sharing today. So if you like this kind of stuff, and it'll send you emails anytime someone posts to the group, that would be a good thing to sign up for and contribute to. The other thing I want to show you, just launched this week, is this inclusive design website. And this is Loudoun County Public Schools inclusive design. And that what we're talking about here is different tools and strategies, shorts, little bites, for different areas. So reading supports, for instance, if you go to reading supports, mine's bogged down. There we go. So like reading supports, here's how text-to-speech supports reading. And then there's little tutorials underneath here about what tools we have in Loudoun County Public Schools that will provide you text-to-speech. Simplifying text, like Joyce was saying, here's a couple tools that will help you simplify text. And so there's a whole bunch of stuff here to explore. There's Rewordify, right? And Joyce was talking about. And so there's a bunch of different tools here under this inclusive design site. So check that out because it's brand new. Whoa. Okay, and last thing to remind you here as it's 3:30 is to say that when you go back to this Google sheet and you see all of these tools, just to remind you that the tools are really meant to help you design instruction. Technology supports design. So, and one of the big takeaways from educational technologies, one of the things we can do with it is provide more options to students. Students don't all have to do the exact same thing. Joyce didn't say, hey, let's use Rewordify and make all of our students use Rewordify. It's just an option for them, right? Same thing with any of the tools that you saw here. It's just an option for them. So design it with options in mind, because if you make every kid do the same thing, you'll be leaving some kids out. Instead, provide options and then let them choose what works best for them. So I will leave you with that, and thank you again for your time and your energy today and your willingness to share. And stay tuned. We will keep trying to update this this Google Sheet, and we will put these little videos together into a nice consumable format. And again, thank you for this great day of learning. I really appreciate your time. It was awesome. Thank you, Tucker, too. You did a great job today, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tucker. You rock.
Thank you.
I don't know where you learned it from, but you sure did learn something somewhere along the way.
All right, everybody.
Guys, I'm going to go because I'm sure there's a deadline or something tomorrow that I'm going to miss.
No kidding, right? All right, I'm going to stop recording. Anyone has any questions or anything, I can hang for a minute, but